You are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Football Language podcast for learners of English who love the beautiful game of football. My name is Damien and I am here in London where the weather is definitely autumnal. The leaves are changing colour and it is starting to get colder. What is the weather like where you are? And I wonder what the weather is like in Tokyo, where the other member of the Learn English Through Football team, Damon, is based. Damon, how are things?
Hi, Damien. Well, I'm well, and like in London, the weather here in Tokyo is very autumnal. There's a chill in the air, and today is grey and rainy. After the hot summer, this weather is just perfect. Now, listener, remember that you can access all our posts at our new website address, which is now learnenglishthroughfootball.com. If you like what we do here, we'd love it if you could share it with your friends and give us likes or ratings on your favorite podcast platform.
I'd also like to add that we have been having a couple of issues with our podcast feed this week. We are in contact with our hosts and hopefully we will be up and running again very soon.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah from Malawi. I'm listening the Learn English Through Football podcast.
And that message we just heard was from a football fan in Malawi. And thanks to friend of the show, Gareth, for helping us get that message. As always, we will have some more stingers or messages throughout the show in different languages. Try and guess what they are. Of course, we'll let you know what they are at the end of the show. And please send us a message in your own language. Just tell us that you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast.
Você está escutando languagecaster.com.
Right, on today's show, we will start with Damien talking about historic wins, big results that surprise the football world. After that, I'm going to talk about a phrase I read this week in a match report on the Women's Nations League promotion relegation playoff between Ireland and Belgium. The phrase was fizzing wide. And we'll finish with some predictions with a massive game in Spain and a match from the Premier League featuring Damien's team Tottenham. So let's kick off with Damien and historic win.
Nama saya Nara dan sekarang kau sedang mendengarkan languagecaster.com.
Now, we have had a week of European football and there were big wins for PSG, Bayern Munich, Arsenal and rather surprisingly PSV against Napoli. They were all in the Champions League. But perhaps the biggest shocks came in the Europa Conference League. Remember, this competition is for lower ranked teams around Europe. Premier League team Crystal Palace were beaten at home by Cypriot side Larnaca. But perhaps the biggest shock of the night was Gibraltar side Lincoln Red Imps defeating Polish team Lech Poznan 2-1 for an historic victory. This was the first time that Lincoln had ever won a European group stage game, so congratulations to them and to another friend of our show, Fran, who works for the club. Enhorabuena, congratulations. So, an historic win can be a win that has never happened before. Can you think of any other historic wins for your favourite teams, for example?
你依家收聽緊 languagecaster.com.
Thank you for that, Damien. I don't know if it's an historic win, but Go Ahead Eagles' 2-1 win over Aston Villa in the Europa League was certainly a surprise. ESPN noted that Villa suffered a Europa League humbling by the minnows Go Ahead Eagles. Now, I was interested in some other European football, and that was the Women's Nations League matches, and particularly Ireland versus Belgium. Ireland ran out 4-2 winners in the first leg. I was interested to read this sentence in the BBC match report. Following a period of pressure and successive corners from the hosts, the visitors had a chance of their own, with Laura Deleuze fizzing wide of the far post. Fizzing wide caught my eye. The verb to fizz refers to striking or passing the ball with power and precision. The ball often skims across the surface of the pitch. The verb is used to describe a ball that moves quickly and low, making it difficult for defenders or goalkeepers to react. Here are some examples. The midfielder fizzed a pass across the box, narrowly missing the striker's outstretched foot. And she fizzed a shot towards the bottom corner, forcing a brilliant save from the keeper. A fizzed cross might whip across the goalmouth, inviting a tap-in, while a fizzed shot suggests a powerful effort that travels fast, but just misses the target. Notice the verb is often used with a prepositional phrase. In our original example, it was fizzing wide of the far post. To fizz across or shot.
မင်္ဂလာပါသင်အခု languagecaster.com ကိုနားထောင်နေပါတယ်
Right, let's now turn to predictions and Damien and an absolutely huge game in Spain.
Right, the big game this weekend is of course El Clásico from Spain, where Real Madrid host Barcelona on Sunday. Madrid are top and Barcelona second in La Liga, but neither side are playing particularly well, and the Catalan side will be missing many of their top players. But I still think they will get something from this game, maybe a 2-2 draw with Lamine Yamal on the score sheet.
Yeah, a draw is the obvious call given their form, but I think home advantage will help Madrid to a 2-1 win over their rivals. What about our next match, Damien? Everton versus Spurs.
Well, it has been a strange start to the season for Spurs. We are not playing very well, can't really score goals, and are missing so many creative players. But we are fifth in the Premier League, unbeaten in 3 games in the Champions League, and unbeaten in all 5 of our away games this season. I told you that it has been strange. We are away this weekend at Everton's new stadium, and I think our unbeaten run will continue. Maybe a 1-1 draw.
I agree with you. Spurs are inconsistent, but Everton are not particularly strong either. And as you said, Spurs are 5th, and picking up a point away will be an okay result. I'll go 0-0.
Je luistert naar languagecaster.com.
How about practicing your predictions language with us? What do you think will happen in any games that you're watching over the weekend? Let us know by coming along to our site and leaving a comment either below this post or on our forum. It's a really nice way to practice some of your writing. And if you want, you can leave a prediction voice note as well. In our predictions section, we use phrases like I'll go and the score, maybe plus the score, and I think what will help which team to, and what's the score.
Unasikiza languagecaster.com.
And of course, don't forget, we have a huge glossary of football terms with hundreds of expressions, phrases and cliches about the beautiful game of football. And if you want to send in any new words that you have heard, again, drop us a line.
Je luistert naar languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, and that message was in Polish. Did you guess the other languages you heard on today's podcast? First, we had a fan from Malawi, followed by messages in Brazilian Portuguese, Bahasa Indonesian, Cantonese, Burmese, Dutch, and Swahili. You can add a message in your language by sending us a recording for the Learn English Through Football podcast. Just email contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com. So on the show today, we looked at historic win and Fizz wide. Try and use some of today's phrases in a sentence if you can. Then send it on to us here at Learn English Through Football. We'd love to hear from you.
Bye-bye. Enjoy all the football.
Ta-ra!